All right, so we're going to go over a couple of these questions because they can be a little bit tricky. So let's look at number one. Number one says Connor has 77 magazines. So Connor has a total of 77. That is 7 times as many magazines as Kristen has. So Connor has 77. 7 times as many as Kristen has. If he has 7 times as many as Kristen, that means that he must have more magazines than Kristen. So down here, I wrote this equation or this sentence. Connor equals 77 magazines, okay? Kristen has 7 times less magazines. Kristen has 7 times less magazines. We know that because it said that Connor had 7 times as many magazines as Kristen has. That means that Connor has more. So when I wrote this, I gave Connor an arrow up to tell me that I know that Connor had more. And I gave Kristen an arrow down because it told me that Kristen definitely has less than Connor, okay? So Connor has 77 magazines. Kristen has 7 times less magazines. So when I have to figure out what the answer is, how many magazines does Kristen have, I can do it one of two ways. I can do 7 times what gets me 77, or I can do 77 divided by 7 gets me what, okay? You just have to decide which one you want to do. I think I'm going to do division. Let's take a look at division right now. I'm going to put 7 into 77, okay? And I'm going to use my friendly numbers, which are 1, 2, 5, and 10. You guys know that, okay? The number I'm working with is 7. So 7 times 1, 7 times 2, 7 times 5, and 7 times 10. I get 7, 14, 35. Let me change that so it doesn't confuse any of us. 35 and 70. So 77 is the closest to which friendly number without going over? You're right. Yeah, it's closest to 70. 7 times 10 is 70. Subtract, I get 7. My next closest friendly number that gets me to 7, yep, it's going to be 1. So 7 times 1 is 7. I add up my friendly numbers. 10 plus 1 is 11. So my answer would be 11. Okay. So remember, you just really have to dig apart at this equation to figure out what is it telling you. I knew that Connor had 77 magazines. I knew that, okay? 7 times as many as Kristen. That means he definitely has more than her. We knew he had more than her, okay? That's why he got the arrow up and Kristen got the arrow down. All right, let's take a look at another one. Let's look at this one, okay? Justin practiced piano for 8 hours, okay? We don't know how many. We know he practiced them for some amount of hours. We don't know. They didn't tell us. His sister practiced for 12 hours. So we know his sister practiced for a total of 12 hours, which was 3 times as many hours as Justin practiced. So his sister practiced for 12 hours, 3 times as many as Justin. So we know that his sister practiced for more hours. So when we put our arrows in here, his sister practiced for more. Justin practiced less than his sister. He practiced 3 times less than his sister. He had to have, because if she practiced 12 hours and it was 3 times more than Justin, we know that he practiced 3 times less. So we need to figure out the answer to this question. How many hours did Justin practice piano? Well, there's two ways to figure it out. You can do 3 times what gets you 12, or you can do 12 divided by 3. In the problem above, we chose division, so let's go ahead and choose multiplication this time. So how I'm going to figure this out is I'm just going to write my facts. 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3, 3 times 4, 3 times 5. I'm going to see how far that gets me and see if any of them equal 12. Let's see, 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6. If I don't know 3 times 3, I can take this 6 and add 3 to it. 6, 7, 8, 9. If I don't know 3 times 4, I can take that 9 and add 3 to it. 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I think I found it. I think I found it right here. 3 times what got me 12? 4. Okay. So remember, it's just like the problem above. We have to pull out what we are looking at. We knew that his sister practiced for 12 hours. It told us that right here. Okay, we knew that. It told us. It said, which was 3 times as many hours as Justin practiced. That told us that she practiced more. And it also told us that he practiced 3 times less than his sister. All right, I know this can be tricky. Just remember, you have to pull out these parts of the problem and make sure you do your arrows. It'll help you remember what is greater and what is less in the problem.